Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina show. I'm your host, Tina Thompson, and I have got coming up from the Decorative Arts Center of Ohio, Jason Crabill. He is the executive director and going to talk about the latest exhibit going on right now, and it'll go through until about the end of the year. And then also I have somebody from the Lancaster Police Department. He is in the Community Services Department, and he is going to talk about a few different things. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Shop with a Cop. Well, that is something that does take place in Lancaster, and you can learn all about that. And we also talk, because it is the time for the holidays and people going out and shopping and things like that, and a couple of other stuff that we're going to have a good chat here coming up on the show. To hopefully you will learn some things. Also the holiday parade, but I'll share a little more of that myself when we get to that. Folks, don't go anywhere. You are about to watch Down Home with Tina.
Fairfield County has so many wonderful resources for those in addiction with mental health issues. There's so many great court supports to promote accountability so that there's just a positive change across the board. There's so many great interactions within all the community agencies. The Adam H Board is wonderful at providing resources for the whole population to be able to make sure that all those barriers are met and that those needs are taken care of.
I like working in Fairfield County because it provides me the opportunity to make positive change where I live. Fairfield County has a great network for veterans to help. It makes me proud that we know we take care of our veterans here.
I'm kind of new to it. I've been here for about a year, but it's interesting because you get a little bit of everything. We're right here smack in between the big city of Columbus and Appalachia. So you get to work with all kinds of people, get to do all kinds of things. But my favorite thing about Fairfield County is the people. They are passionate, they are fun, they are engaged, and it's a great place to work.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have Jason Crabill with me. He is the executive director of the Decorative Arts Center of Ohio. It is right on Main Street as you're going up the hill. Am I right? Yeah, right there. As you're going up the hill, it's going to be on the left. If you're going down the hill, obviously, it's going to be on the right before the Mexican restaurant.
Yep. And
it is a beautiful, beautiful place. And you have so many things going on all the time. And you have a newer exhibit. It's been over a month or so now. But
we do.
Jason, I saw on social media somebody was bragging about it. And I go, I have got to give him a call and see if he will be on the show. Because people are bragging about it. But you always have so many wonderful exhibits going on in there. What is it? And, well, no, you know what? Before we get to it, we're going to make people hang on for just a second.
Okay.
How long does it take for you to decide and get a new exhibit set up?
That's a great question. So it actually, the full process from coming up with an idea to opening, it can take years, right? But when we actually start the process of figuring out what the exhibit is actually, beyond the idea, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to curate it? What the theme, what the big idea of the exhibit is, all of that. That process is about a year and a half, maybe 2 years from sort of really starting on it to opening.
Who decides this?
I'd like to say that there's a really strong structure that, check marks and things. It's usually a group of, someone will make a suggestion, or someone will see something, or we'll have a conversation with somebody, and then I, in my role, make the final decision, but it's usually a group effort to kind of figure out what's out there, what would make sense, and how it fits with everything else we're trying to do over the course of the year and over the course of a couple of years.
And I don't know, but just me thinking about being a group effort makes it a lot better and easier for folks to want to be and participate in making it happen if it is a group effort.
I'm a firm believer.
So
I am
sure
definitely not the kind of boss that stands in front of people and says, all right, we're all going to run that way, and I'm going to lead. It's really is a conversation and supportive environment. I work with some great people. And,
wonderful.
It's a great process.
Yeah, good. Nonprofit.
Nonprofit, yeah.
So that means you have board members?
I have a board that I report to. It's a volunteer board of members of the community who are dedicated to the arts, dedicated to the Decorative Arts Center of Ohio, and really the community.
Right, yeah.
It's a great way to serve.
What is it that you have going on right now?
So we opened an exhibit on September 30th called "It's an Honor to Be Here: Ohio Nature Artists in Their Natural State." I think I got that right. It's nature art. It's an exhibit of 40 Ohio-based artists, all living artists. Some of them are artists that have shown in galleries and museums before, and a lot of artists who would probably consider themselves amateurs. They're doctors and lawyers and scientists and teachers by day, but they have these incredible. They're artists at heart, and they create incredible work. And the exhibit is, I think, over 130 pieces, and it ranges from taxidermy and duck decoys to photography and quilts and digital prints and furniture and two-dimensional and three-dimensional pieces. It's quite a variety and quite an exhibit to experience firsthand.
Furniture made me think furniture. What would, and so they've just done something new with art with the furniture, right?
As a decorative arts museum, we're broader. We're sort of an art and history museum, but sort of centered in the decorative arts. And the broadest definition of decorative art, there are some very strict definitions that you'll find in textbooks and other things that get a lot more detailed than this. But broadly speaking, a decorative art is some object that you use every day or for purposes, but is made to be beautiful, which is why we think of our family china or our right, or our dining room table can be a decorative art, right? So in this case, when we're talking about a nature exhibit, and we're talking about decorative arts, and it's really made out of sort of natural style. The wood has meaning to the imagery on it. There's all kinds of elements that the artist has in mind as they're creating the piece that's really embedded in the natural world. And so, again, sort of easier to see than to explain.
I'm sure, right.
But, that's a great question.
It just sounds beautiful. So a lot to see when you come in.
So much to see. And not only that, on the second floor, in our main gallery spaces, but down in our lower gallery, we have a smaller exhibit of historic duck decoys. So the exhibit upstairs is all contemporary artists, and then in our lower gallery is sort of the history of duck decoys in Ohio with some well-regarded, dare I say, famous duck decoy artists, and sort of the history of that, particularly through the lens of a place called Winus Point, which is up in the Sandusky, Port Clinton area. It's the home to the oldest hunting club in America. It's founded in the 1850s up there on Lake Erie.
Interesting.
And has a great history, and duck decoys are sort of an anchor of that. And so it's kind of a fun connection to the history of nature art that connects nicely to the exhibit upstairs.
Very nice. What are the hours?
We're open Wednesday through Friday, 11 to 4, and Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 4.
Okay. Admission?
Admission is always free. We are a community museum. We really are. We were founded with the idea that we're an art museum for everyone in the community, and we're the Decorative Arts Center of Ohio, so in theory, we really try to reach beyond the community, but at our core, we want folks who live here to feel like they're welcome any time.
Jason, if it's free, how do you raise funds?
That's a great question. So we offer classes and programs, lectures and those sorts of things, and we charge a little for those. We have a membership program where people can pay to become a member. They get some return on that in the way of discounts on things and access to events, first access to events and other things. But it's really an investment in what we do for the community and what we represent. And then we also we do a lot of fundraising through grants and other programs like that. We have sponsorship opportunities for businesses if they're interested in helping to support in that way. And then about 2 years ago, we started an annual gala event that is a big fundraiser for us that in 2024 is scheduled for June 22nd. And the anchor of that event, there's always a different theme, but the anchor of that event is a big couture fashion show where we bring in world-class fashion designers based largely out of Columbus, but all over Ohio, and do really a world-class fashion show and event that's really a fun way to engage in ways that are different than all the other amazing arts programming and events and things that happen in the community around the year.
Do you make it a part of the exhibit that's going on at that time, or no? This is just specifically.
So we're always trying to figure out some way to theme the event connected to the exhibit.
Together.
Last year, the show happened when we had a fashion exhibit in the gallery, so it was a really nice connection. This year, the exhibit, next summer, the exhibit is not a fashion exhibit, but it's going to be mid-century decorative arts and design and things. So 50s and 60s stuff. So everybody loves that. So I think we're going to run with that as a jumping off point. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
We're in the beginning stages of planning for that. But yeah, those are the ways that we really try to engage folks. The saying, particularly in nonprofits, time, talent, and treasure. What can you, how?
Yes.
And we're always looking for folks that have the resources to help support us financially. But the reality is that we're always looking for volunteers.
Okay. Yep.
And
what is
folks
expected,
who can contribute.
Jason, from your volunteers?
We try to keep it as low pressure as possible. Really, what we're looking for is folks to welcome people into the space, to help docent in the galleries if they want to help people around as they're learning about the exhibits. They can kind of talk with people about being an expert in that area. Really, it's a couple hours a week or a couple hours within a month just to kind of help out and give us some extra bodies and some smiling faces to greet people and welcome them in the space and get them to feel comfortable.
Nice. How many exhibits do you have a year, so folks know how often you change out?
We do 3 major exhibits a year, a winter-spring exhibit, a summer exhibit, and a fall-winter exhibit. And so on September 30th, we opened our fall-winter exhibit.
Yeah.
And it's an honor to be here, runs through December 31st.
Okay.
So since we're in the middle of November now, right after Thanksgiving, I know Thanksgiving's coming up real soon, right after Thanksgiving, we're opening up our holiday exhibit, which is something we do every year. And that'll be on our first floor, which we turn the first floor, which is where our historic, we interpret the historic home every holiday season. We pick a theme and bring in historic Christmas and holiday decorations.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited to do that again this year. And this year the theme is handmade, homemade objects and pieces, and really sort of it's going to be really nice.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
I know, I'm excited. We're getting ready to open it soon, so I'm excited for people to see it.
Oh, good. Very, very, very good. So how many years have you been now with Decorative Arts Center of Ohio? Because I know that we had mentioned it the last time we were together, we were at the pool, the Miller Pool, like right before it opened.
Yeah, this is the first time I've been in this beautiful space. Yeah, the last time was at the pool outside.
Thank you,
I started in the summer of 2020, so right in
Wow.
the middle, in the middle of everything, which was not being from Lancaster. There was some slow, it took a while to kind of get.
Especially with
get
that.
in the community, right.
Yeah, with that,
it gave me some space to kind of make sure that we were all okay, right? That the staff that I was joining and that the organization was in a good, we spent a lot of time writing grants and figuring out
preparing and
public plans and things. I started on the day we reopened after the first shutdown in July of 2020, and then we closed again right around Thanksgiving, and we're closed again for several months. But on that time, I spent a lot of time just trying to do a lot of Zooms with people, a lot of standing outside and talking to people and just trying to get to know the community and really engage. And that slower on-ramp was actually, it had its costs and its benefits, but one of the things we're finally in, I think 3 years in, I feel like I'm in the cycle. Our schedule's set. I see people at Provisions, and I know them, and they know me, and I meet, and every week I'm meeting new people and building new relationships. But
and I even said to you, it was okay. I was like, I'm so glad you're still there, because we went through a couple for a few years there. I'm just saying, and nothing, it just wasn't supposed to be. But I'm so glad to see that you're still there and still going with it and creating awesome things for our local Decorative Arts Center of Ohio. Yeah. What is the address and the phone number and website, all that good fun
stuff? We're located at 145 East Main Street. We're just south of High Street on Main Street, just next to the Sherman House. And our phone number is 740-681-1423, and our website is decartsohio.org. So that's DECARTS Ohio.org. And that's where you can find information about our exhibits, our hours, our location, also our arts education program, all the classes we have available. You can look and see what those are. We rotate through those throughout the year, and you can sign up for those there. And so it's a great sort of one-stop shop for all that information.
Wonderful. Folks, any questions at all? Reach out to Decorative Arts Center of Ohio, or better yet, stop down during those hours, just to see what they've got going on. Thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you, Tina.
Folks, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. It's Down Home with Tina.
Dagger Law has more than 110 years of experience in nearly every aspect of the law. When we're not just helping clients, we're helping the community. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and around town, because we live and work here too. We are your neighbors, and we want to help you when you need it. When we help each other, we're stronger. Our community is stronger. Creating a strong, vibrant, healthy, and safe community is everyone's responsibility, and we take the responsibility seriously. We are local, we are trusted, we are experienced.
It's Down Home with Tina, and I have from the City of Lancaster Police Department, Police Officer Jones with me today. And
hi there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Oh, I'm so excited. We have so many things. So he's here to talk about one thing in particular.
Yes.
But with Tina on Down Home with Tina, we always find more to discuss.
That is definitely true.
We have time to fill, and we have things to talk about. So we're going to get to talking about them. The main thing that I really want to get out there, first and foremost, is Lancaster Citizen Police Academy Alumni Association. They have every year the Shop with a Cop.
That is correct, yes.
And so that's the first and foremost. We want to talk about that because donations can be accepted right now, today, from anybody who is willing to give.
Yes, the event is a real successful event for the kids, obviously, in the county and in the city. It is called Shop with a Cop. So it gives the children the ability to actually walk around with a shopping cart and shop with a cop. So those children are actually, they come through the Job and Family Services of the county, and they are for the children that qualify. And then at that morning of the event, which is December the 9th, starts at 9:30 and goes until about 11 or 11:30, depending on how much shopping needs to get done that day. And we do a lot of shopping. We definitely do. We usually end up with about 30 to 40 children that we have to shop for, and we have several officers that sign up for this event. It's super successful. It's super exciting for the kids. The officers love it as well. They literally get to walk around with 2 to 3, sometimes 5 to 7 children, and they shop for them. They help them pick stuff out, whether it's dolls or it's games or it's even a bicycle. So it's super fun. It gets everyone excited and pumped up for the holiday season as well. But again, when it all comes down to it, it's really about being pleasing and fun for the child. Some of these children that come to us that go through this event may not have that ability to have some of these gifts and items that they've never ever imagined that they could. So for us to try to make a difference in their life in some form or fashion, you walk away with a very filled heart from an event like that. And again, that's December the 9th. The event takes place at Walmart. But then again, the children do apply through the Job and Family Services to qualify for that program. So it's, again, a super successful event for us, as well as a fundraiser event for individuals and businesses in the area that want to contribute and help out towards that cause.
And they
Shop
just
with
have
a
to
Cop.
contact the Lancaster Citizens.
Then contact the
County
Lancaster
alumni.
Police Department through our website, and
Oh,
then there's
great.
also a link on our website for the Lancaster Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association.
Is there a set number of kids, and then you just, however much money you get, you disperse that amount of money equally?
That is
or
correct.
can you have more kids and more money, the more the better?
So typically the way it works is by the time the morning rolls around, Job and Family Services has a set number of children
do,
that are
okay.
coming to that event. And at that point, then they figure out the math of how much each child will get as
What
far
we
as spending money for
raised.
that day.
Yeah,
Yes,
what
as far
was
as total
raised.
amount raised. Correct.
Yeah. So if you
Yep.
have any child at all, even I always say, you know what, get your kids that maybe are better off and they get a lot at Christmas time and things
Right.
like that. Maybe they can do something to go and ask family and friends to give money to give to the Shop with a Cop Day
Yep.
for a kid who is less fortunate, because isn't it about teaching
Yeah.
our youth and our young to do good for the community, for those who may not be able to do for themselves?
Correct. And the one thing that really spoke to me last year was I had a little girl that I was helping her kind of shop along, and she was picking things out, and I said, "Isn't this a little old for you?" And she was like, "I'm actually doing some shopping for my family members." And I'm like, "Oh, that is so sweet," because that really touches you when they can go there and they look beyond even themselves to get something for their mom or their grandma or even their brother or their niece or something
Yes.
that's even more unfortunate than they may be. So for me, that's a
Right?
very touching moment. That's pretty neat.
I'd be
pretty
like,
cool. Yeah.
My eyes are watering.
I totally wasn't
Don't look at me,
expecting.
my eyes are
Yeah,
watering.
I wasn't expecting that, because she then decides she's picking out stuff for her family members, not her, but her other siblings. So I thought that was super sweet. Yeah.
Well, there is also, that's coming up. So folks, again, please donate, help out if you can. Also, the holiday parade is coming up.
Yeah,
Yes.
super great event. Of course, the one thing we do want to focus on is lots of people, lots of cars. Our big focus this year, as far as obviously Lancaster Police Department's always talking about safety and concern for the community. So that's our number one goal. You know, if we wouldn't be there if we weren't able to provide some type of safe services for you. So our big push this year is going to be, you know, being cautious of your children. If you've got groups of kids or you're watching other kids, and again, I've always been a proponent of, you know, it takes community to raise these children. And so if you see children running out into the street trying to grab at candy or whatnot, be cautious of that. Try to watch those kids that are running into the road. If you're a parent to these children or a grandparent to these children, be cautious of that as well. We'll wait until after the parade and the cars and the trucks and the tractors and the horses have gone through for them to maybe grab that candy. Again, that's our number one concern. We don't want any accidents with children, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And then that takes place, and then a good old Thanksgiving and our Black Friday. And when it comes to people shopping,
Yeah.
because it is that, now I know they're making, I think, the sales a little sooner, more and more.
They sure
go
do.
along and do a lot of online. A lot
Right.
of people do, but those who are still going out to the shopping centers and wanting
Right.
to beat all of the crowd, or not
Yeah.
literally beat, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Get out there before the crowd, but there's always a crowd beginning. I think
Right.
at midnight.
Yeah. Hopefully
It's
there's no
ridiculous.
crowd beating, but yeah, you never know.
No,
Things do
I
get a little
hope to
crazy
goodness
out there.
That nothing's worth it.
Yeah. So
But
from our
anyways.
from
Yeah.
our safety perspective, of
Yes.
course, you want to just use common sense when you're out shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Always be aware of your surroundings, right? Be cautious as you're taking things out to your car. Make sure you lock your vehicle. Don't leave your vehicle unlocked. There are people that walk around through the parking lots during that time of the year, and they're looking for packages and things that they can swipe easily out of your vehicle. There are people that go around and just try door handles. Please lock your car, right? More than likely, if you're parked in a parking lot around other cars, they're not going to try to break into your car per se. They're not going to bust your window. They may just try your door handle and they'll move on. So please lock your cars up. Any cash, any IDs, name badges, things like that, don't just leave it in your center console. Of course, if you have any weapons or anything in your car, don't leave them in your glove box or in your console unless they're secured in a real tight lock box. But again, just use your common sense when you're out shopping. Be cautious of pulling money out in front of a bunch of other people as well, because people do watch for that when you have cash on hand. So just be careful of things that are displayed in your car. If you can hide them in your trunk or in the back of your vehicle, cover that area up as well.
Even when you're inside and you're in the stores and you're paying cash, don't pull out your chunk of money. I say have an idea of what you're going to spend in there and put that money where it in, just so you're just pulling that bit out. And
that's a super great idea.
Because there are also people probably watching around for that as well.
That's right. Watch your PIN numbers when you're popping your PIN numbers in. Just be cautious of that, because you just never know. People do watch that type of behavior and they try to take advantage of you while while your mind's on all kinds of other things. And so be cautious of that.
With that being said, take somebody shopping. Don't go alone. It's always more fun anyways.
Definitely.
How fun would it be to get up at 2 a.m. to go by yourself if you're going to go shopping? Drag something along with you.
Bring a buddy, bring a girlfriend, whatever you need. But yes, that's great advice as well. Great advice.
So. Well, thank you so much. So let's get back real quick. Shop for a Cop, or Shop with a Cop, is going on now. Donations, and how do they reach out to Lancaster Police Department?
So they could do a Google search directly for Lancaster, Ohio Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association, or they can go to the Lancaster Police Department's website, and there's a link off of that for the Alumni Association, and there's an ability to donate right there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Officer Jones was a First Responder of the Month before, so he is an alumni of the First Responders for DHWT.
Indeed.
Just saying. Thanks so much for taking the time to be with me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Folks, don't go nowhere. It is Down Home with Tina, and I'll be right back.
Bay Food Market is Fairfield County's source for high-quality, locally sourced meats. The meat case is always full of quality fresh beef, pork, gourmet burgers, and gourmet brats for you and your family to enjoy. Bay Food Market cures and smokes their own hams, bacon, and sausage. Visit Bay Food Market at the corner of Maple and Walnut Streets in Lancaster and discover the Bay Food Market difference. Open daily 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., closed Thursday and Sunday. Bay Food Market, proudly serving Fairfield County families for more than 90 years.
Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. Folks, we briefly talked a little bit about the Lancaster upcoming holiday parade, and it is called an old-fashioned Christmas, so it's themed. I believe they have a theme every year, so when you get to see those floats, then you'll get an idea of where that's coming from. It's old-fashioned. I love that. I think that is pretty awesome. However, I wanted to also share with you that I did see on their Facebook page that the Lancaster Holiday Parade, they made a comment of that there is another one that's a fake one. By the way, also, as Officer Jones said, the holiday parade is the 18th, November 18th is the holiday parade. And there is a fake page that is now up. You're going to see it right away and notice that it's fake. It says something about Santa in it. That is not the official page. There are a lot of people that are saying they're going to that. I don't know what the gist is behind any of it. Just be careful when you're looking for a local page and kind of look to see some things. But yeah, that it's definitely not a Santa holiday parade. It is the Lancaster Holiday Parade, and you're gonna, I think, know the difference right away if you just kind of go to it and make sure. But with that being said, with the parade coming up, I do hope that you can make it out, bundle up. It is sometimes very, very, very chilly on those days. Be careful, be safe, and I hope that you have a wonderful week and that you keep watching the show and sharing it for me. That really helps out a lot as well. Folks, God bless and have a great week. Good day. It's Down Home with Tina.